a brand new video. As promised from my last vlog, I said I was going to post my latest Q&A, and I think it's been like over 6 months. The last time I did one of these videos, I was pregnant with Bella Ray, and therefore, what am I now? 4 months postpartum. And let me tell you, I am a completely different person. Yeah, that person in my previous Q&As, that wasn't me, that was Patricia. Anyway, we got lots and lots of questions to get through. I have written them down in my trusty little notebook because, number one, I am a geek. If you're new around here, I love old school stationery, pen to paper. I just love it, and it helps like trigger thoughts, you know. I just think it's healthier for us. Anyway, not just that, I actually just film on one device. We limit devices in this house. I film on my iPhone. You're sat up here, and so I do need to, you know, jot things down, especially the questions we're going to answer in today's video. So everyone, grab yourselves a cup of tea. I've got coffee today because I was up in the night with Bella, and coffee is my blood type at this point. Get the custard creams. I'm on a diet. Told you I was going to do something about this double chin. Oh, just quickly, if you watched my last vlog, I told you guys I would keep you up to date with Ashley springing on this 3-day bloody fast. 3 days all at once. He sprang it on me. Now, don't get me wrong. I love, love, love a challenge. Love it. But I only lasted 24 hours. I lasted 24 hours and I ordered my favourite kebab. It was the best tasting kebab I've ever tasted in the whole history of the world. Why am I on this subject? I was just giving you a quick update. Anyway, grab yourselves a nice drink of something, get cosy, and let's get into these questions and have a good catch up. So I've categorized these questions and tried to like group them together. The motherhood questions and baby related questions I'm going to leave to the end of the video. We'll do them last, and then you're not waiting around if you're not interested in, you know, motherhood and the baby situation, because once upon a time I wouldn't have been interested in that kind of stuff. Like, I thought we weren't having a baby again, didn't I? I was quite happy living my single life. Not single life because I'm obviously married, but, you know, childless life. So yeah, I get it. I'm not offended at all. Everybody's in different seasons of their life. I understand that. So yeah, the baby questions are all at the end. What keeps me calm and grounded on the days I feel stressed? Taking time for myself. Now, I realise it's not a one size fits all. Everybody's unique and different as human beings. That's just the nature. For me personally, when I'm stressed, I recognise, now I'm older as well, I recognise in myself that I need to recharge. More importantly, my husband recognises that I'm overstimulated and I need to recharge. Therefore, a lot of time I need to be alone to do that. Me being a Capricorn, and I do mention this quite a lot because even though I'm Christian, I do think there's something about horoscopes, not like as predicting the future and ooh, Mystic Meg and friggin' witchcraft and all of that darkness. What I mean by that is traits. Like, as Capricorn, I do have a set of traits that are true. The same way my daughter is a Leo and she has Leo traits, personality traits, I'm saying. Anyway, that's as far as it goes with me. I do not delve into that any further than that. But what I'm trying to say is I have a certain set of traits, and Capricorns like to be alone. We are our best selves when we are alone. I do my best work, I have my best thoughts, my best inspo comes to mind, and it really fills my cup. The same way, for instance, a Leo like my Joelle or a Gemini has to be around people. They cannot be alone. Like, it's like doomsday if they're alone. And the other ways I like to ground myself is obviously prayer. The first person I go to is Jesus. I go to God. I say my prayers, I spend some alone time, and it really fills my cup. It's like food for the soul. It lights me up from within. fellow Christians know what I mean by that. Also, when I'm feeling stressed, I like to count my blessings. I actually like to write them down. So like gratitude journals, I suppose. Anyway, you can do it on a piece of paper and with a pen and just jot down 5 things you're grateful for in your life every morning while you're having your morning cup of tea or your morning coffee, and it really puts your day into perspective and just gets you feeling where you need to be to get through the day. I also take a shower. I never, ever, ever get into bed without having a shower, especially if I've had a bad day. Wash the day off. Do you know there's something in the Bible that says, and I really connected with this when I heard it, but it says something about that water cleanses you. Bad energies can latch onto you, and if you don't know how to get rid of that, then you can really it can really affect your life. Anyway, let's not get into all that, but shower before you get into bed. I always say a prayer in the shower as well, but that's me personally. But shower the day off. Cleanse your body, cleanse your soul, your spirit in the shower, and then go for a really nice sleep. So plenty of sleep, shower before you get to bed. That is another way I can recharge. If I want to make myself really happy, I'll go and have a little dopamine boost and go shopping. I know that's not a vibe, but it's really doing my head in. I've got pins and needles sat here on the floor. Every time I sit down on the floor to film a video like this, I get pins and needles, don't I? Lots of connection time with hubby. I love that man so much. He is my safe space. So yeah, if I'm feeling down, I'll get into bed early and just cuddle up to my husband and watch a movie. And yeah, I can't even read my own writing. Are you now in your forever home? This question I get asked all the time. I would really like to continue these renovations and these projects because me and Ashley say this all the time, but as a husband and wife, it's something we do together to bond over and something to build together, and it feels really nice. I don't know how else to explain it. We enjoy it so much as a project to do together outside of family and children and all of that good stuff, I suppose it's become like a little hobby we have together, and I don't want to say let's stop now, because that just makes me feel really sad, especially because we're still young as well. So wouldn't we want to continue while we still got the energy for it, to get to where we want to be? And I don't mean to sound ungrateful that this house is magnificent. It's more than plenty big enough for us. In fact, it's still too big for us. Even now we've got Bella. Even if Joelle came and moved back home, it's sizable, this house, more than enough. And it's beautiful, and we've crafted this back to life from bare bricks and dust, if you remember, if you've been with us on the journey. And you know what? I just don't see us living in England, especially now we've got the baby. And also, what an adventure that would be. Now, let me just ask you guys this. If you had the means and the ways and the courage to step out of your little box that you've created for yourself, I'm talking about me here, and you've got the means and the funds and the finances, and you've built wealth through renovating houses, and some opportunity came up in a new place to go, would you go with your husband and your baby? Would you go? Okay, next question. What's your next renovation project after the garden? So obviously we're doing the garden and the patio at the moment. That's going to take us probably through the summer at this point. I'm just giving you guys a rough timeline here. It can go over, it can get done in a week with Ash. You know how quickly he works. Anyway, but yeah, we're on with the garden and the patio. I'm in my head, that's going to take us through the summer. By the autumn winter this year, I'm hoping to have that snug room downstairs, the lounge, done and all styled, all the furniture in there, the whole shebang finished, ready for Christmas, because that's my Christmas tree room. I just want it finished for Christmas, so that needs to get done in the background. In fact, there's not a lot to do down there really, there's just furniture to get, and we're always looking for it. because we like to thrift furniture and things like that. That's how we save money throughout these renovations. That's one way of us saving money throughout these renovations. Also, as well, we've got a third bedroom. Is it the fourth bedroom? Yeah, the fourth bedroom. The fourth bedroom, it's at the moment, it's a storage room, a dumping ground. It's going to be my office, bit of an office / library room, and I really want that done because I love my office. And if you came with us from the last house, the little 2-bed bungalow we came from, Ashley built me an office in there in the spare room, and yeah, it was fabulous. If I can find a picture of it, I'll pop a picture on the screen. He built me this from scratch, all built in himself by hand. It would have cost us an actual fortune to have builders come in and do something like that, and I absolutely loved that space, especially in the winter. You know, I'm an autumn winter girly, so I'd put like ambience on the iMac in the morning. Now in the drawers I used to house all of my makeup and beauty products and hair accessories, and I'd sit at my desk in the morning. You know, I'd have something on in the background on YouTube, like I said, either ambience or somebody else's video. I'd get ready for the day in there, do all my makeup then gets put away under the desk in the drawers, and I absolutely loved that way of living for myself, like those kind of morning routines. Somewhere for me to have my morning coffee, can go through my emails at the same time. Especially want that kind of a vibe in the office room up here. And if you follow us along on the renovation journey, when we did the upstairs in this house and we were doing like the interior doors, I put locks on the doors because, number one, they used to have locks on the upstairs doors in these houses back in the Edwardian times. And I'm really glad I did that now I've got the baby, because imagine when she is running around the house and she's absolutely into everything. She's going to be into my makeup. She's going to get everything out. We've got carpet upstairs. Now there's a time and a place to be making messes. Okay, I'm all about having mud kitchens outside and all of that and messing about with makeup, but not my good stuff. Okay, and yeah, while she's young and she doesn't understand, it's going to be great to just lock the door and she can't get in there and get into it all, you know. And so yeah, that's going to probably take us through the winter. I've also got a few little projects downstairs to do as well. Like I need to add more character to the kitchen as well. So just lots of bits and bobs, styling bits and bobs to be getting on with and adding to the house, and obviously lots of furniture and styling pieces. We need to fill the walls with artwork and all of that stuff. Okay, this was a multitude of questions, but I'm going to answer them all because they're quite fun. Favourite meal? Oh, I'm a foodie. We're all foodies in this house. We love food. I love particularly trying different foods, and especially when we're on holiday, I like to eat with the culture and try their food. And it's really funny because we call it our death row meal, and Ashley says his death row meal would be chili con carne on jacket potatoes. It's his favourite meal of all time. I have to make it for him every single week on a Monday. You know why on a Monday? Because on a Monday, when I were making chili con carne one week back last year in May or June, whenever I found out I was pregnant, I felt sick chopping the peppers. I went to do a pregnancy test, and all of a sudden I was pregnant after 16 years of infertility. And obviously that day I told him I was pregnant, and I don't know why, but he seems to have this association with chili and that best day of his life. And so yeah, it's his death row meal, he calls it. My death row meal, oh my God, there's so many to choose from. It's so hard to choose. How can you just pick one? Oh my God, like if it was my death row meal, it'd have to be a big fat roast dinner with gravy. Obviously, I'm British. I mean, you might take the girl out of England, but you can't take England out of the girl. You know. Yeah, roast dinner for me, it's got to be. But what kind of roast dinner? Oh, I mean a carvery, because you get all the meats, because I couldn't choose just one meat. Roast beef if I had to choose one meat, but let's say carvery then, and then we can have all the meats. Greedy chops. She's also put, what job did you do previously? So I was a travel agent previously before I got married at 30, retired, and became a traditional trad wife, housewife. Oh my god, these questions are so fun. She's also put favourite movie. Me and Ashley both love movies, and again, how can I choose just one? It's so hard. There's so many I love. I remember when I was a teenager, I was obsessed with Romeo and Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann one, obviously. And he's still one of my favourites to this day. I really want to watch that, actually. Oh, another one as well, and it's again Baz Luhrmann. Is he called Baz Luhrmann, the producer? Like, I like certain producers and their style of filming. I just love film, and that's really funny because, like, I make videos now. Isn't that really weird? I mean, I'm not saying I'm a producer like that, but it's like, you know, it's the same line of work, isn't it? Filming, setting up, and just getting angles, and, you know, telling a story and all of that. Love it, love it. Another Baz Luhrmann movie I absolutely love is The Great Gatsby. Love that film. I watch it on repeat, especially at time of the month. Like, I like to watch all my favourites. I also love all the 90s movies. You know, like, oh, they just don't make them like that anymore. Like E.T. and Big and The Borrowers, and oh god, I can't think right now off the top of my head, but there's just so many that I love. I will say though, I don't know why this has just sprang to mind, so I'm just going to mention it. It's just popped into my head, but when me and Ashley first got together, I had a dodgy TV, and I can't remember now, but we had this box, some sort of a box. Now, I don't know how tech works, you know what I'm like. And we'd only just started dating. Anyway, my TV were broke, basically, and all I had on DVD was the film Crank with Jason Statham. Have you watched the film Crank with Jason Statham? It's actually quite a funny film. And we watched that movie on repeat. Like, most nights we just used to put it on in the background. We weren't actually watching it every time, but it's actually good to watch. Like, you can rewatch it over and over again. It's dead funny. And yeah, it became one of our like nostalgic films, because when we first got together, my TV were broke, and he used to come over and we used to have that on in the background every night because we had no other choice. Where our favourite place to holiday is, well, it's always been the Caribbean. It's just a place me and my husband love the most. Obviously, you've got the weather, the white sands, and the turquoise seas. Why did I slap my legs like that out? Dominican Republic was our first Caribbean holiday together, and we was together, I think, around 9 months when we went on holiday to the Caribbean. And it was at that moment I fell in love with my husband. Well, I knew I'd fallen in love. I don't think there's a point where you go, all of a sudden I'm in love. Like, it happens over time, doesn't it? And you're like, how did that creep up on me? And yeah, I was in the Caribbean and I was watching Ashley, and he looked really dead fit and everything, all his muscles. He was coming out of the water with Joelle, and she was only tiny. If I can find a picture, I'll leave it on the screen here. She was tiny. And I remember watching him from my sun lounger, sipping on a cocktail probably. And I remember just thinking, wow, I think I'm in love with this man. And so, yeah, I realised I was in love with my husband in the Caribbean. Anyway, we've holidayed in the Caribbean quite a lot over the years. We just love it. Jamaica, Cuba. Cuba's one of my favourites. Oh my God, Cuba is so underrated. It's probably the least Caribbean island anybody wants to go to. But if you go to Cuba, do a twin centre and do a few days in Havana. Havana, ooh, na, na. Havana, if you like a vintage style, it's like stuck in the 1950s. Every car you see is a classic 1950s car. It's such a vibe, and you've got the Caribbean heat. Oh my God, the buildings, the architecture is beautiful. I do actually have a Cuba vlog if you want to go and binge watch that video of us holidaying in Cuba featuring Havana. Beautiful place. Highly recommend. Have you got any plans to move again soon? No actual plan in place, but we're always looking for the next opportunity. My husband checks Rightmove every single day. Like I said though, there's just never anything. Not after this. There's just nothing I'd want to move into after this. It's got to top this. And I don't think we're going to top this in England, like I said. I say I don't see ourselves in England. I'm open to options. I just think we can get something more special and better for our money elsewhere. There's no houses around here that I would want to move into. I'm sorry, they're horrible. They're bloody horrible. It's depressing. I call it District 12. It's absolutely depressing. Anyway, like I said, by the autumn winter we'll probably wrap up a few more of these projects. The house will be somewhat finished to a finished standard and in a position to get a valuation. And obviously we are very clever at keeping an eye on the market, especially around where we live here, and I have a figure in mind that I think this house is worth, and I've said this from day one. And it looked like at the beginning I was aiming too high and being a bit ambitious with the price, because I remember us all saying, like, how much do we think this house is going to be worth when it's finished? We were all discussing, like, and guessing. My estimation was, like, really ambitious. However, over the course of the 2 years, obviously the market's changed as well, but it's looking like this house is worth the figure that I thought of in the first place, because something's just sold nearby for quite a lot of money. And that's exciting, because whatever we make doing all of this, it just gives us another step up to move on to something bigger and even better. And just, that's so exciting, isn't it? And the best thing about that is you guys get to follow us along on the journey. How exciting. But if we don't find anything to move on to, or we end up stuck here for a little while in this house, it's not a bad house to be stuck in, is it? So I'm quite happy to take our time to find the right project. There's no rush to move out of here. Until the next opportunity that's right for us comes up, we will be staying put. We just don't know when that will be. It's so exciting. It could happen tomorrow. Something could come on the market tomorrow. That's what happened with the last house. We were barely finished. We just finished the garden. And there was still plenty to do, really, in that last house. I mean, it was more or less finished, but we could have still stayed there and done a little bit more to it, you know, and fluffed it up a little bit more. But this came up on the market, and it all just happened so fast, and here we are. I've said this to Ash, but there's a lot of things in this house we decided not to do. If we stayed here for whatever reason, right, I would probably want to knock up into the attic floor, to be honest with you. So we did toy with this idea originally, but it's going to cost a lot for an attic conversion. What a gorgeous space it is up there though, especially with the roof points. It's then going to take potentially our 4-bed house into could be a 5-6 bedroom house, and that would just be amazing. Unfortunately, we don't have the cellar, which is high enough to knock down into. Next door do. Their cellar is fully, like a full, you know, capacity ceiling height. Ours was only half ceiling height for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because we're in the woods here, so the landscape and the terrain, it's all different. But yeah, next door have got a cellar, the normal floor, they're upstairs, and an attic. At the time, it wasn't within budget, but yeah, if we stayed here, we'll probably knock up into the attic. It's something to do, because God forbid my husband has to rest. He doesn't like resting, as we all know. You always seem so bright and cheery. How do you manage everything? You lift my spirits. Oh, that is so lovely. You know, it's really nice to hear that. Some of you, just let me quickly say this, some of you leave me comments like this on my video and say, like, I really love it when you've posted a video, you really, like, brightened up my day, and or I've been going through this or that, and like watching your videos just brings me comfort, and all of these things. You don't know how happy that makes me, not from a me head's getting bigger kind of a sense, or an ego, not from a place of ego. It just makes my soul happy. Sometimes I get trolls commenting on my videos, and honestly, I feel so sorry for these people, by the way. So if you ever see a troll commenting, I know you guys are my friends and you want to jump to my aid and, you know, stick up for me in a sense, but please just ignore them. If I see it, I will just remove them from my channel, because we all do not have any time for that kind of energy. It's sad. There's someone's actually showing up to your video, getting offended for whatever reason, silly reasons as well, and then like actually leaving you a really shitty comment, like where it's attacking you. Some of them are bad, some of them are silly, some of them you think like, why have you even took time out of your own day? Like, it's very odd to comment that onto somebody. And it's like their sole purpose getting up this morning is to come and like make somebody else feel as miserable as they do, and for that I'm really, really sorry for them. Luckily they're very few and far between. Most of my friends here are just absolutely magical. I love you all so much. And yeah, for every like troll, there's like 1,000 of you that say that I bright up your day. Because if you were hearing bad comments all the time, like you'd start to think like, is it worth me showing up? Luckily I've got a thick skin. There's no way I'd stop making videos for someone like that. I understand the psychology too much to let someone like that affect me, luckily. But not everyone's like that, are they? And you know, it could really affect some people. It's really so nice to hear, and it really helps me show up and make these videos. But to answer your question, I'm not always bright and cheery. Generally I try to keep bright and cheery, and I do lots of things to help myself feel like that in this world. We all have different set of circumstances, different lives, and we're all very unique and complicated in our own way, relationships, and you know, the list goes on and on and on. So yeah, I've gone through the list of things I like to do to keep myself bright and cheery, but I do still have those days, you know, where doubt creeps in, or where I'll have a few trolley comments that really like trying to plant the seed of doubt in. And sometimes like if they catch me on a bad day, it kind of works for a minute, and I really have to talk myself back out of it, or get overstimulated and I need to go off and have time for myself. Some days I'm crying in bed watching movies and eating pasta during periods and that time of the month as well. And you know, relationships breaking down and friendships and overthinking, and there's lots of that going on in my life as well behind the scenes. Obviously, I've said this before, but nobody shows up on camera. None of these creators, these happy creators that you watch, these comfort creators, none of us are showing up on those bad days when we're looking like crap, feeling like crap, on the period days, you know, when we've had an argument with our husbands, or whether we've had a bad day with the kids, or you know, everyday stuff. It happens to the best of us, and we all go through it. You're not alone. And yeah, you just got to do your best to try and keep cheery. But like, I then go off and do those things I mentioned earlier and spend some time with myself and recharge. I'm only picking up this camera on my best days, and let this be another reminder for social media in general that I think we all know this by now. I mean, it's been an ongoing topic of conversation for quite some time, but social media is a highlight reel for most people. We're not all showing up depressed and miserable, or we're not all posting our worst pictures. Like, why would we, you know? But yeah, we all have them days. Do you think you'll move to France or Italy? I can see you in a chateau. POV, you click onto YouTube and Suzy darling has posted a video. We bought a chateau. Can you imagine? In France. I say this to my husband all the time, but you can buy like mini chateaus or farmhouses in the French countryside, and they're so beautiful. Same in Italy as well. And I follow, and a lot of people say this to me on social media, like especially Instagram. They're like, you post a lot of houses abroad, like, are you moving abroad? There's no plans to move abroad. I'd love to. I would definitely be up for a road trip in France, and we can squeeze in a few like house viewings. We could all bring you along with us on that journey. How good would that be? And also, I did want to ask you guys, because like I'm serious about exploring the option. Why not? That's what I say in this lifetime. And if there's anyone watching this video who is an expat and has moved to like France or Italy, do you know of any estate agents that deal with the language barrier? So British estate agents that deal with houses abroad in these places. Like, obviously I wouldn't want to go and deal with estate agents where there's a real language barrier and they don't speak English and therefore communication's lost, because that's a bit scary, isn't it? I'm sure there's estate agents that deal with British people abroad, you know? Anyway, I say this to Ashley all the time. Is this my way to get a little mini castle? Like I always dreamed of a castle. I mean, who doesn't? I'm a typical like Disney girl, not as in like with the ears and stuff like that. I'm not like, you know, novelty Disney girl, but I grew up watching Disney movies and wanting the fairy tale dream, the beautiful house and the husband who's absolutely gorgeous and sweeps me off my feet, and I got it. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. Someone's put, how's the IPL? Good question. Non-existent, to be honest with you. I've still got the IPL device machine. Is it the Braun? I'll leave the one on the screen and I'll link it down below in the description box. This is the one I've got, and basically you have to be consistent with it for it to work. So in the salons, you would book like a series of treatments, like a block booking, and you've got to keep going and having it done. Obviously, this you can do yourself at home, so it is easier because you can just do it when you're out of the shower and like on a weekly basis. As well, I always say, if you share one of these cost-wise with your friends and then like rotate it per week, back and forth, or with your sister or whatever, and it splits the cost then for you, and you know, gets rid of the hair removal it is. And yeah, you've got to be consistent with it basically, and I haven't done that, especially whilst I was pregnant. I couldn't even see down there. It was really bad. It was really bad, everybody. I was so embarrassed going into hospital. I was like, Ashley, you're gonna have to do something about this before, because I don't even like to ask my husband to deal with it. He's so lovely. He was like, I'll do anything for you, and I'm like, I can't have you doing them things for me. I mean, I had to because I had no choice, but yeah, I'm a bit of a, no, I don't know. As a brummie myself, did your nan move north or did you move to Brum? If you've watched the Peaky Blinders, they're from Birmingham. They're brummies. They're called brummies. And yeah, I mean, I'm explaining this like way too much depth, but you guys know what I mean, don't you? Yeah, if you're new here, I was brought up by my grandmother and she was from Birmingham, so she was a brummie. And I believe she moved up north because I was brought up here in the north with my nanny, who was a brummie. And yeah, I don't know the story behind it. Do you know what? I'll have to ask my auntie. She's probably watching this video as well. So Auntie Pat, will you message me and let me know, how did Nanny end up north from Birmingham? I think it might be something to do with the army. But anyway, I'd just love my nanny to be around today to ask all these questions. You know, I lost her when I was 11 years old. So there's so much, like, as childhood questions I've got and adult questions I've got. Like, oh my God, not even if I could have her back for one day, because I don't want to spoil her time with Jesus. She's probably just, you know, having a whale of a time. And we'll meet again one day and ask all these questions. I am sure of it. But will it even matter at that point? Probably not. But I'd just love to just ask these questions, because do you know what? I don't even know what weight I was when I was born. You know, the details that everybody records when they're born, like, or they can ask their mums and dads, like, and it's come about because obviously I've just had the baby a few months ago, and obviously there were lots of comparison with her and Ashley. Like, his mum and dad would say, like, oh, he was this weight when he was born. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, like, well, I wonder what weight I was when I was born. Like, there's no record of that. And I don't have anyone to ask. I don't think my auntie would know that. She might do, but I doubt she will. Okay, good question. How are you and Ash coping with being new parents? Yeah, we're doing really well, thank you very much. It's obviously a big change, but slowly I'm settling into new life again as a mum. So since finding out we were pregnant last year, and we've documented the whole journey. I think it's called the Pregnancy Diaries. I've got a playlist anyway if you want to follow along on the journey right from the day dot. But yeah, it was quite a shock, wasn't it, to the system for me especially. I just thought I was way over the hill for that. It took me all the way through the pregnancy to try and wrap my brain around what was happening. Everything just happened so fast, and now she's here and it's 4 months and now everything's going even faster. But yeah, we're settling into life with a baby really well. I mean, I do have some days still, and I'm just being honest here, so please don't, like, you know, please don't invalidate my feelings, because I'm allowed to have these feelings as a new mum, especially when I was childless for so long. it's a shock to the system sometimes. I enjoy it so much, you know, obviously it's a blessing. I agree with all of that, but there are some days where I'm really overstimulated. I shall have to take Bella. I nearly said Joelle then. I keep doing that. I keep calling Bella Joelle, and it's like 20 years ago I had Joelle. Anyway, yeah, and I'll miss my old life on them days, you know. I mean, like, in a sense where I can just get up, have a peaceful morning if I'm not feeling too well that day for whatever reason, periods, what, you know, and I can just like take my time and just have some peace and quiet, listen to bird song and not think about anything else. Whereas obviously when you've got a baby, it's just it's full on. You can't really have a day off, can you? You know, you that baby's got to get fed and everything else, nappies, and it's just you're on somebody else's timeline. I say all the time, we're like personal assistants now to Bella. That's our job title. It's lovely. On the days where I'm not overstimulated, it's absolutely wonderful. And Ashley, however, is really enjoying his fatherhood, and it's absolutely beautiful to watch. He's just brilliant and hands-on, and there's nothing that's too much for him. If he could have carried that baby in his own belly, he would have. I'm going to get emotional, but the way he looks at her, the way she looks at him, and he feeds and he changes bums, and she's so attached to him bond wise, and it's just absolutely beautiful, and he can't keep away from her. And on the not so good days, I count my blessings, and I remind myself that everything is temporary, especially these stages of babyhood and parenthood. It's temporary, and if you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day, not a bad life. So tomorrow's a new day, you know, like I say, wash the day off, do the things you need to do to recharge as for you as your person, and move on and enjoy your life, romanticize it. Okay, next question is, how old is Annabelle? So Annabelle is now 4 months old. It's going so fast. She started smiling and responding, and she's so alert. Everyone thinks their child is really clever and like is like absolutely smashing the milestones, but same with us. We think she's the best thing since sliced bread. She's absolutely smashing her milestones. She's trying to sit up. In fact, she's trying to stand up, which we find really hilarious and quite bizarre because she looks way too small to be doing that. I'm looking forward to weaning her onto real food. Like I said, we're real foodies in our house, so we really can't wait. And Ashley is really obsessed with like health and nutrition, and she's giggling and she's starting to babble. She loves her daddy's face. She cannot stop staring at him, and I don't blame her, to be honest with you. He's absolutely gorgeous. She's changed so much since she was born, but we've noticed up to now she's got this little dimple here in one cheek on one side. In fact, which side is it on her right cheek? She's got a little dimple here. I've got one kind of here. Hers is a little bit more prominent. So yeah, I don't know if one's going to appear on the other side. Does that happen, or do you have one dimple? I don't know, but she's got a little dimple, like I said, on her cheek. She's also trying to suck her thumb. Do you know all the cute things you expect little babies and little girls to do? She's starting to do them things. Like Joelle never sucked a thumb. I can see tinges of brown. Ashley thinks he can see tinges of gold because my eyes are quite golden. They do change though, green to gold to brown. So he's hoping she has my eyes. I'm hoping she has his chocolatey brown eyes. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how her eyes appear. So you can really start to tell what colour eye they're going to have. I've done a lot of research on this, but around 9 months old, from around 9 months old it says. But right up until they're over 1 year old, they can still change. So yeah, it'll transpire over time, I'm sure. How's Joelle with Bella Ray? I had a baby sister when I was 15. Basically, she's 20 years old and she's working full time. She lives in a different village with her partner and she works full time now as well. So obviously she only has the weekends off, and then she's got to fit everything else in and her friends and stuff. Nothing more important than your own little family, is there? And yeah, everyone comes to me on a Sunday and I absolutely love it. We get the games out, we do a Sunday roast, and we really try and keep up with the Sunday tradition. Okay, the next question is, how have you found your breastfeeding journey? The same as 20 years ago. actually, kind of. I exclusively decided to breastfeed Joelle, and what I learned from that is it was very taxing on me as a mother. I did try and do the what do you call it? Why am I doing all this? You know what I mean, don't you know what I'm trying to say? My brain doesn't work. Expressing milk, but how you need, it's a full-time job expressing breast milk and storing it properly and freezing it properly, and when you can use it and when you can't. And most of us have got baby brain after you've had a baby, like it's impossible. So I remember how taxing it was in many different ways. So therefore 20 years on, I thought, right, with hindsight, I'm going to combi feed Bella. So I'm going to give her straight from the breast as much as I can and as much as I can do. And then in between, we're going to bottle feed as well. And milk dried up after 6 weeks. And some people might argue, well, that's because you were combi feeding, because you need to be constantly like expressing or breastfeeding. The more you do it, the more milk you produce. So obviously the less I was doing it by bottle feeding as well, probably that's why the milk dried up. Who knows? But like I said, 20 years ago, I was exclusively breastfeeding and I still dried up after 6 weeks. I just personally, don't be hard on yourself. I took that as a sign, as my body's done enough. That's what they needed. That's what they got. I feel like I've given both a really good start. 6 weeks start on the breast, and yeah, she's on bottles now, and it's easy because Ashley can look after her and feed her as well, and yeah, it's a lot less taxing. So don't be hard on yourself, because you know, a mother's load, they call it, don't they? It's a lot. It's a lot. Will we be baptizing our beautiful Bella? Yes, we will absolutely be christening our beautiful little baby Bella. So I have been putting it off a little bit, I can't lie. It's been at the back of my mind, and it's just like a bit further down on the priority list, you know, with her being a newborn, and you know, me and Ashley don't have the village and all of that. It's all me and him doing everything. So obviously it's a lot, and life is just so busy on the daily. So yeah, we have kind of been putting it off, to be honest with you, but it's both important to both me and Ashley to make sure she gets done as soon as possible, really. I have prayed upon that little girl since she was in the womb, and I still pray on that little girl now, but it's not enough. I need her to be spiritually protected in every sense of the word. So yeah, we will be christening Bella, but yeah, we finally started to do some planning behind the scenes, so that's all very exciting to come. And then finally, we're going to end with a wonderful question: how did you meet your husband? So basically, we met in our early 20s when we were young spring chickens. And I always say I had a little Cinderella, modern day Cinderella moment when I met my husband, and he was a doorman. And I was at a 21st birthday party, and yeah, on that night we met. And I think I've gone into detail with that story in one of my other question and answer videos. It's still up somewhere, so you'll have to go and dig it out. But yeah, we met in our early 20s. We've been together for 16 wonderful years. In fact, as you're watching this video, when are you watching this video? You're watching this video on Tuesday. I'm actually at a spa day today whilst you're watching this video. Oh, I'm having an Indian head massage and I can't bloody wait. I'm hoping that Indian head massage will give me back some brain cells. This week, on the 22nd, actually, is our wedding anniversary. 9 years married. So we've been together for 16 years and we've been married for 9 glorious years. Next year we'll be married 10 years. Maybe we should get married again and renew our vows after 10 years. Oh, how nice would that be? Because I didn't have the best wedding, let me tell you that. I can't go into detail, but oh my God, it was the worst. Anyway, we married the right man. That is the main thing. So maybe we should do a renewal of vows. In fact, who would be at the wedding? No one. No one's invited. I'm laughing because I'm not a people person. Like, it really doesn't bother me if people leave me out, like, good, because that doesn't bother me. If I could go back in time, I would absolutely get married to that man abroad, just me and him and our daughters. And yeah, if we were to do that again and renew our vows, I'd probably do it right the second time round and like just forget everybody else's noise, background noise. There's nothing more important than your own little family. So on that note, I'm going to leave you guys alone. And I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone. I'm not sure what we've got on Thursday for you, but I'll try and make sure there's a video for you on Thursday. I'm also filming a vlog as well in the background, so that will be on Sunday. And there's lots of discussions around the garden and things like that. So yeah, hopefully I will see you all in my next videos. Bye, guys.